The JoLynn Braley Show, episode 60, Get Real, episode number 14. When exactly will enough be enough? Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and this is the JoLynn Braley Show. Join me on today's show as we go beyond the food to the real issue. What's the real issue? You've always thought it was all about the food, right? You thought that all you needed was another new diet, another new exercise program, another new quick fix, and that suddenly, somehow, you'd be able to lose weight and keep it off. You do want to keep the weight off, right? I hope you do. Well, I'm not being sarcastic with what I'm saying right now. I'm talking about the fact that your mindset is 90% of your problem. How you know you have a mindset problem is like this. You do know how to eat healthy and you know how to exercise. You have collected tombs, reams. You've filled up hard drives. You have books, magazines, information ad infinitum about eating healthy and getting good exercise. But you're not doing it. And why aren't you doing it? Because you don't have the mindset that you must have if you're ever going to make it easy to live a healthy lifestyle. If you never get the mindset, which includes healing the root of why you ever became overweight in the first place, because believe it or not, you were not born a binge eater. You were not born a yo-yo dieter. You were not born an emotional eater, a food obsessor, a stuffer, a self-sabotager. You weren't born with any of that. But somewhere you got off track. And if you're like my clients and you're like 99% of the population who has a weight loss problem, a weight problem, a food problem, this problem started for you when you were a kid. So this is something that has been going on your entire life. In fact, how you know how old this problem is right now, identify how old you were when you first started having any kind of struggle, any kind of negativity with your body, with your weight. Maybe somebody called you fat. You might not have even been fat. I was not fat. I was not overweight when I was a 7-year-old little kid sitting in the front seat of my parents' car. It was summertime. I had on these little red shorts, and I looked down at my thighs, and I thought, I'm fat. Because any person, no matter who they are, when you sit down, your thighs spread out. I was not fat, but I thought I was. And then I manifested that on my body. The inner and the outer always match. You cannot expect to have lasting success with your weight when you're fat on the inside, or what I call it to be FAT. When you have an FAT mindset on the inside, you must be fat, you must be overweight, you must be unhealthy on the outside. Why? It's universal law. The inner and the outer always match. What is FAT? FAT are your fear-attracting thoughts. You know you have an FAT mindset when you have the information, you have the ability to live a healthy lifestyle. You do have the ability to go to the grocery store and buy clean eating whole foods. You have the ability to cook those foods and prepare them. You have the ability to go for a walk every day, at the least. You have the ability to do sit-ups and push-ups. You don't even have to buy weights to work out with. You have the ability to exercise 5 to 7 days a week. You have the ability to eat clean, healthy foods, but you're not doing it. You have all the information, which is agony, and I understand how it feels because I've been there myself. It's agony to know what to do and to stop yourself from doing it. That's how you know you have a mindset problem. If you were a person who was living in a cave and you had no idea about healthy eating, healthy foods, how to live a healthy lifestyle, the fact that your body wants to move, that regular exercise is good. If you had no idea about any of those things and you weren't living a healthy lifestyle, that would be a different story. But who is that person living in the cave in today's information age? Who is that person? It's certainly not you, is it? Because you're listening to me on the JoLynn Braley Show. You have technology, you have intelligence, you have the wherewithal to be listening to my voice right now. Either you tapped into iTunes or you came to my website, fearlessfatloss.com, or you found me on Facebook, or you found me on Twitter, or on LinkedIn, or on, Pinterest. I mean, there are so many social media sites out there that you could have found me through. You might be a member of my Permanent Weight Loss Secrets Easing community. Either way, you're listening to me. You're not living in a cave. You're not living under a rock. You do know how to eat healthy. You know how to exercise, but you're not doing it. Your problem is your mindset. If you never get that sorted out, if you never get it healed, if you never get it resolved, don't put the pressure on yourself to expect yourself to lose weight and keep it off, because you can't. This is not my rule. Imagine that you have a computer on your head. Your head is programmed to have the body that you have right now. Otherwise, if your head was programmed to live in a fit, healthy, sexy, slender body, that would be the body that you'd have. Or you would be taking effortless action to get the body. What is effortless action? Effortless action is not sitting on the couch all day and eating brownies and visualizing your ideal body and expecting it to come. That is silly. Effortless action is living a healthy lifestyle without self-sabotage, without the back and forth, without the kind of crazy things you do to yourself where you eat clean for 3 days and then you go buy a cake and you eat the whole thing. And then you tell yourself you'll start again on Monday. You go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're in and out, in and out, in and out, up and down, up and down, up and down. That is craziness, and that is a match. Those behaviors, they are behaviors. I'm not saying you're crazy. Your behaviors are crazy. Behaviors can be changed. And those are symptoms of an FAT mindset. Behaviors that match a core solid weight loss mindset are the behaviors of just living a healthy and fit lifestyle because you want to do it. It doesn't mean either that you never have a cookie or that you never have a piece of cake. It means that you become one of those people who can have just one. I mean, what would that be like? Wouldn't that be awesome? By the way, if you would love to have what I'm talking about, if you would love to be able to live healthy and fit without it being a fight, obviously, yes, you do have to take action to get the body that you want. But when you sabotage yourself and you go back and forth and back and forth, like I said, I mean, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. There's no consistency. How are you ever going to expect to have peace with your body and peace with your food, which you must have if you ever expect to have permanent weight loss? It's not going to happen the way that you're doing it. If it could happen the way you're doing it and the way you've been doing it, why would you be spending any time listening to me right now? You would already have permanent weight loss. You would already have a weight loss mindset. You would already be loving your body, loving your life. Sure, you'd be striving for more. There's always more that you're going to want to do and to achieve. But when you are already living in the body of your dreams, how much easier would that be to do all the other things that you want to do? Maybe, though, that's part of the problem. You don't even know what else you want to do, and your whole life is all about this food and weight thing. Wow, I remember when I used to be there, and it was just a cover-up. It's what I call hiding behind the fat, which is one of my websites, Stop Hiding Behind the Fat. And that's where you you're hiding behind the fat and you're hiding behind the food. Especially what you're hiding behind are your fears. Your fears are what you are hiding behind. If you were not afraid to live as the you that you've always wanted to be, again, you would not be listening to my voice right now. You would be doing it. And if you would love to have the results that I am talking about, if you'd love to be able to become that you've always wanted to be and just live a healthy lifestyle without it being such a big deal, without the self-sabotage, without the emotional eating, without the binge eating, without that gunk, then your first step is to apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. You can do that at discovery-session.com. And that is for you if you would love to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart? Why am I so successful, except in this area with food and my weight? Why can't I just get it together? If you'd love to stop asking yourself that question and wondering why you can't do it, then this complimentary weight loss discovery session is for you. It's your first step towards struggle-free permanent success with your weight. It is not for you if you are a person who is just looking to dip a toe in and try things out and see maybe one day if someday somehow you could magically take a pill and lose weight and never have to do any kind of work or not be committed to yourself, not make yourself a priority, and make any changes in your life. Then if that is where you're at right now, that's okay. I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything. It's where you are. But that the complimentary weight loss discovery session is not for you if that is where you are right now. What you could do is you could pick up go grab a copy of, well, it's not actually a copy. It's a free 5-day e-course, and it will help you learn more about your mindset, learn what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good, and you can grab that also over at fearlessfatloss.com. Okay, so let's get to today's topic. Today's show is Get Real episode number 14 of the JoLynn Braley Show. Get Real episodes are what I started in January 2013. I said that I would do a Get Real episode each month, which is even more hard-hitting than the regular episodes of the JoLynn Braley Show. On any episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, or when I work with my awesome mentoring and coaching clients, when I write, when I speak, anything I say, I'm not holding back, I'm not sugarcoating things, because you'll never get anywhere if you continue to stay in denial, really. You have to get real with where you are right now and look at your results. And if you're not happy with your results, you have to be willing to look at what you're doing and how you're living so that then you can decide to do something different. I'm not saying you have to live with having your pain and your frustration right in front of your face every single moment, but you do have to be willing to go there, look at how you're living. What exactly are you doing to yourself? And what are the results, the specific results that you are living in your life? Did you make a New Year's resolution in January and it's already blown? You probably blew it before the 15th of January if you're like 98% of the population. It's not your fault. It's not like you're bad because that's what you did. You are unable to follow through and be something on the outside that you have not become on the inside. That's why you're always rubber banding around and bouncing up and down, and you're just never getting to where you want to go. So to get real with yourself and come out of denial, you have to be, you got to be willing to get real with yourself. And the purpose of getting real with yourself is, again, so that you then make a decision to do something different, because I guarantee you that if you continue to do what you're doing right now, you will continue to get the same results that you're living. And hey, if you like the results you're living, that's fantastic. But why are you listening to me right now? Do you want to do a joint venture with me? Do you want to interview me? Do you want to create a product with me or a program? If that's why you're listening, then go to fearlessfatloss.com and send me an email through my contact page. But I doubt that that's why you're listening right now. You are a person who is in pain and you're living in frustration and craziness. Literally craziness. Obsessing about food, wanting to eat this, but they say you shouldn't eat it, and then you eat it anyway, and then you feel like crap about yourself, and then you tell yourself that you'll change tomorrow, but you never do. And this has been going on for 10, 20, 30, 40 or more years. I just realized, did I finish that exercise that I gave you at the beginning of this episode? When I was talking about discovering how old how old this problem is that you've been dealing with. Let's go back to that, because I don't think that I finished that for you. And it's a great thing to look at with getting real with yourself today. All right, so how you know how old this problem is that you have been dealing with and living under and struggling with is identify how old you were when you first started struggling. And I think that where I stopped with that and I started talking about something else, I was talking about myself when I was a 7-year-old kid and I thought I was fat. Okay, well, identify the age that you were. It's not hard for you to do. You just, as you go back in your memories, and it might be easier for you to close your eyes when you do this, but as you go all the way back in your memories to your first possible memories you can find, and then come back up to your first experience of negativity with your body, with your weight, with food, with your body image. And again, you might not have even been overweight, but you thought that you were not good enough, that you weren't pretty enough, that you were fat, that something was wrong with you. And it'll be easy for you to find that age. So now that you have that age, simply subtract it from your current age. And then that number, you could do it pen on paper right now. Write down your current age, put the age you were when you first started struggling in any way with food or your weight. You were having negative thoughts, feeling bad about yourself. Subtract those two, and whatever number you come up with there, circle it. That's how old this problem is. That is how old this problem is. And even if you've had times in your life when you lost weight, maybe you kept it off for a year or two, if you're still struggling today, what that tells you is that you never did heal the root of this issue. If you were to heal the root of it, release it, achieve inner peace with yourself and with food, learn how to trust yourself, learn how to trust your body, learn how to listen to yourself, become your own friend, become your you, become the you that you've always wanted to be. You become all of these things first on the inside before all of that fat is even released from the outside. You can get a weight loss mindset so much quicker than you can release the fat, just because the body is not going to release 10 pounds of fat overnight. If that's what you're looking for, there's no sense of you even listening to me, because that's ridiculous. That's what I say. It's unhealthy, it's unrealistic, and it's just silliness to buy into any of those magical weight loss cures that tell you can go to bed and that you'll wake up 10 pounds thinner, or that you can even lose 10 pounds in a week. Now, if you are over 300 pounds overweight, you could release 10 pounds in a week. But really what that's going to be is water weight. It's not actual fat releasing from the body. So I'm talking about real fat loss, and a healthy fat loss rate from the physical form is 1 to 2 pounds a week. So if you're 50 pounds overweight, that's going to take some time. If you're 100 pounds overweight, that's going to take some time. One of my awesome clients, Dave, he released 90 pounds, and it took him over a year to do it, and he did it with sanity. He did it with a weight loss mindset. He did it because he worked with me in the Inner Self Diet, and he released his struggles that he was having before. One of the things that Dave liked to eat, by the way, was, and maybe still is, pretzels. Food taste can change over time. But at the time we were working together, he didn't want to give up his pretzels. But like I was saying earlier in the show, a weight loss mindset does not mean that you never again eat a cookie or that you never again have a pretzel. It's about listening to yourself. It's about so many things that wouldn't even make sense to you right now if I were to explain them, and I don't even have time to do it on a free podcast like this. It would, and you have to be working with a highly skilled professional who you're going to have real-time two-way communication with in order to go to the root of this lifelong problem that you have and heal it and release it. It's actually easier to teach a person how to become a millionaire than it is to teach them to achieve permanent weight loss. And the reason for that is because you carry your body with you everywhere you go. And when you feel like crap about your body, you're taking a crap feeling with you everywhere you go. And that infiltrates your business, your bedroom, your beach vacation. It goes with you everywhere. Now, the money topic, if you are teaching a person how to become a millionaire, the money topic doesn't have to be forefront in your mind or in your life at all times. But the body, it's just always there. So to honestly go to the root of this problem that you have and heal it, I don't know how you would do that on your own. If you were to do it on your own, it's going to take a while more than likely. And it's actually not good to be looking for a quantum leap. And the reason for that, and I explain this to all my clients too, because if you could somehow quantum leap from where you are right now and leap into this you that you want to be, who loves living a healthy lifestyle, first of all, you would have no idea how you got there. You wouldn't have any experience of getting there. What would be the tools that you'd use to continue to be there? What would be your skill level, your competence for being that you, if you could just suddenly leap into her or into him? You have to walk the path, and it goes step by step by step by step, which is why the Inner Self Diet, my proven proprietary step-by-step system to permanent weight loss, it goes step by step by step by step. So, the big question of this show is to get real with yourself. When exactly will enough be enough? How much more frustration do you need to... These are questions that let's stop here for a second. I recommend that if you don't already have paper and pen, that you get that out and you write these questions down and then you answer them for yourself. Why do I suggest pen and paper? Because if you do this on a keyboard or an iPad, or you try to somehow do it on your phone, you are missing the connection that occurs between your head, your hand, and your heart when you take a pen and you put it on paper and you write with it. Especially if all you do is listen to me and you don't write these questions down and you don't write down the answers, you might get some kind of aha moments, but it will be nothing compared to what you could get if you just take out a pen and paper. So the first big, bold question to write down: when exactly will enough be enough? How much more pain, frustration, and struggle do I need to endure before enough is enough? And get honest with yourself. You already identified how old this problem is. If you didn't do that, if all you were doing was listening to me while I was explaining that to you a few minutes ago, then pause this podcast and figure that out first. Rewind the podcast if you need to. You need to know how old this problem is, and you need to write it down on paper. And then answer the question, when exactly will it be enough be enough with this? I've been struggling for 25 years, 38 years, 47 years. I have had clients who've been struggling for more than 50 years with this food and weight issue. So how many more days do you need to self-flagellate yourself, beat up on yourself, keep yourself in struggle before it's enough and you're willing to hire a professional, highly skilled coach, and mentor to help you get out of that muckmire and move to where you want to be. Why do I suggest you hire a professional coach and mentor? If you could have done this on your own, wouldn't you have already done it? You would have, wouldn't you? Would you purposely be causing yourself pain, embarrassment, struggle, the pain of missing out on friendships, on romantic relationships, on a better sex life, on business connections, on employment, on taking your business to the next level, on just simply feeling good about yourself, on wearing the cute clothes you've always wanted to wear, wearing the cute underwear and lingerie that you'd love to wear? This problem infiltrates every area of your life. When you feel like crap about yourself and you feel like crap in your body, how can you expect to be living full out and putting yourself out there in your business? Or if you have a career path, how can you really expect to have the confidence to apply for that promotion that you want, or go for that job that you really want, or go back to school to get the training that you need? It intersects everything. It impacts everything. I have had clients who, I'm thinking of one of my clients who said that her husband became her sex slave while she was doing the inner self diet. Now, what does that mean? Is that some freaky thing? No, what it means is that they had a good relationship before she did the work on herself and her inner self. It was a nice relationship, but all along, he had been trying to give to her, give simple things like candles, and give energy, and give emotion, and give affection. But because she did not feel good about herself, she could not receive any of that, and she was always pushing him away. And once she became okay with herself and she healed the root of her food and weight struggles, and she was able to do the things that she already knew she needed to do, to eat healthy, to only put food in her mouth when she was physically hungry. You know, do the things that are part of having the body that you want. Drinking plenty of water. It sounds so simple, but why don't you do it? Once she was able to honestly and genuinely be at peace with herself and with her body and with where she is, then her marriage blossomed. Her husband didn't change. She didn't go to marriage therapy. She didn't give him a book and tell him to change. It was because she changed. He had been there for her all along. So the point of this, of what I'm sharing with you, is that this problem you have, it's everywhere in your life. Imagine that it has tentacles. You identified how many years you've been struggling with this food and weight issue. Now take that number and imagine that there are, it's like a ball, and there are tentacles coming all out of all sides of that ball, and imagine how big that ball is, and it's kind of crusty and not very pretty, and these tentacles, they stick into and flow into your everything, into your bank account, into your relationships, into your sex life, into your fun, into your mind, into your emotions, into your heart, into your relationships with your kids. They go everywhere. And imagine if that ball, that crusty ball, could somehow, it could peel away or crack and fall away, and inside is that you, that beautiful you that you've always wanted to be. That is the result that comes from healing the root of this old crusty problem and letting it go. You don't have to live in struggle with food and your weight. It doesn't have to be like that. You really can become naturally slender, but 90% of it is about your mindset. So if you haven't already answered that question for yourself, when exactly will enough be enough? then again, I suggest that you pause the podcast and you take as much time as you need to answer that. And then another question to ask yourself, write this down and then write down your answer. What exactly is stopping me from getting the help I need? What exactly is stopping me from getting the help of a professional that I need? Now, obviously, I know that I can do this. I know that my proven system, the Inner Self Diet, works. I know that it will give you struggle-free, permanent success with your weight. I do not know if you would be a good fit for it because I don't know who you are. I'm just talking here on a podcast. I have no idea who you are. You could be a Pomeranian for all I know. So that's why you have to start with the complimentary weight loss discovery session, which you apply for at discovery-session.com. But if there's some other professional who has a proven system to permanent weight loss and you can hire them, then what's stopping you? What is stopping you? So write down your answer. And if you see that you're using money as an excuse, look at all of the things that you've wanted in your life that you honestly wanted that you found the money for. So if you write down that money is your reason, then notice for yourself that it's really an excuse. Because if you really want to do something, you find the way to do it. Make a list of 10 examples of this in your life when there was something that you really wanted to do and you got the money together to do it. So what that answer tells you, if you're using money as an excuse, is it tells you that either you don't honestly want to let go of this problem, you want to keep it for some reason, you want to stay in the struggle, or you don't value yourself enough, you don't believe in yourself enough to believe that you deserve help, or you don't believe that you can change, you don't believe that anybody can help you, you don't believe that you deserve to change, you don't believe that you deserve to have struggle-free permanent success with your weight. The point here is it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's always about something else. So you need to go underneath that if that's what you're coming up with. Same thing with time. If you're using time as your excuse, oh, I don't have time. Well, that's because you're giving all of your time to everyone else. You have no time for yourself. This is one of the biggest challenges of my clients before we work together, is that they're more than willing to say yes to everyone else and to always be giving their time to all these other people. And then they go home and stuff themselves with all kinds of food. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not even taking 30 minutes a day for themselves. They don't take any time for their inner self. They don't take any time for taking care of themselves. You know, there's a reason why when you fly on an aircraft, on a flight, and you're told that in the unlikely event of a decompression in the cabin, you have to we strongly suggest you put your oxygen mask on first. The reason for that is because you are of no good, you are no use to anyone else if you don't take care of yourself first. That simple example carries into your life, to your everyday life. If you're not taking the time to take care of you, you don't have anything to give to anyone else. And actually, you are cheating your family and your loved ones by always putting them first. You just imagine if you felt good about yourself, if you felt good in your body, if you felt good about food, if you could live healthy and fit and you enjoyed it, what in the world would you have to benefit your family? Just imagine that. You'd imagine the example that you'd be setting. Imagine the energy, the tone that you'd be setting. Excuse me. If you are a woman, you know that the woman is really the tone setter of the household. And when you're cranky and ornery and irritated and frustrated and in pain emotionally, maybe even physically, that is coloring your entire family. You are cheating your family by not taking care of yourself, by not hiring a professional to help you, by using the excuses of time and money when those are just excuses. And underneath there, actually, if you want to go all the way to the bottom of your excuses, it's all about fear. It's all about fear. You're afraid of what will happen if you succeed, or you're afraid that you won't follow through for yourself, or there's some kind of fear. And that's all a symptom of your FAT mindset, which really puts you in a pickle because you need help to get out of that so that you can replace your FAT mindset with a weight loss mindset. But how much longer are you going to allow your fears to stop you? This is Get Real episode number 14 of the JoLynn Braley Show. If you're not willing to even answer these questions on this free podcast, then that's another sign of your big, bold, badass fear. Exactly when will enough be enough with your fear? Write that down. How much longer do I need to live in fear before enough is enough? And I suggest that you also, after you answer that, write down how many more days, how many more weeks, how many more years you're willing to live in fear before you get the help you need to bust out of this. Just get honest with yourself. And after that, go ahead and make a list of all of your fears. What exactly is it that you're willing to dedicate your life to? Do you want to keep worshiping fear? Because that's what you're doing when you're living with an FAT mindset. There is no personal inner self power in that fear. And you're no good to anyone else when you continue to live like that. You're teaching your children and you're teaching your friends, you're teaching anyone you come in contact with, you're teaching them fear, either consciously or unconsciously. That's what you're teaching. That is the energy that you are emitting. Doesn't mean that you're bad or wrong or a horrible person or anything like that. It's just what you're doing. I sure hope that this Get Real episode is benefiting you. If it's of no benefit, then why are you still listening? You know that what is stopping you is your fear. How much longer are you willing to live like that? Write that down. How much longer are you willing to continue to live in the fear? There is no one else that is making you live in that fear. It's all you. Your husband isn't doing it, your kids aren't doing it, your parents aren't doing it, your neighbors aren't doing it, your boss isn't doing it. You are your own fear creator. It's all you. So at least get honest with yourself that it is your choice, and see what happens when you allow yourself to be honest that yes, it is your choice. Okay, let's take a quick commercial break. Today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is fearlessfatloss.com. Go to fearlessfatloss.com. Sign up now for your complimentary weight loss discovery session if you are serious about busting out of this fear that's been holding you back so that you can finally become the you that you've always wanted to be. If you are not serious about doing that, at least admit to yourself that you are the one holding yourself in the fear. And see how that helps you to just be real with yourself. You can apply for that complimentary weight loss discovery session at fearlessfatloss.com/call. It's CALL, like when you call somebody on the telephone. Okay, how do you get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show? It's really simple. Go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com, click like to like our Facebook page, and I will give you a shout out on an upcoming episode. And that's all you got to do. It's very simple. I just use your first name so you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to have the fear that I'm going to use your last name. I just use your first name. And once again, you can do that at thejolynnbraleyshow.com. Okay, so what did you learn today? You learned today that if you never get real with yourself, you are going to continue to get the same results that you're getting now. And why would you want to do that to yourself over and over and over and over and over and over and over? I mean, when exactly is enough going to be enough? You learned that this problem you have has been a lifelong problem for you. You identified how old it is. You hopefully got real with yourself. You wrote down the questions that I gave you. You answered them. You wrote them all down, pen on paper, and you got real with yourself. If you didn't get real with yourself on today's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, then ask yourself this question, write it down, and write down the answer. What exactly is stopping me from getting real with myself? Honestly, there is no one out there who is stopping you from getting the results you want in your life. It takes action to create and maintain the body of your dreams. It takes action to get a weight loss mindset. One thing, and actually what's interesting is that I actually teach my clients a great deal about how the law of attraction works, but I know how it really works. And one of the things that kind of bugs me is that movie, The Secret, that was put out. It was nice for helping the mass population remember about the law of attraction and laws of this universe. But what it did not specify and really highlight is the fact that it does take action to get what you want. Now, the inner self has to be matched up with what you want on the outside, but the purpose of doing the inner work is so that then you do take physical action to create the results you want in your life. Right now, the physical action that you're taking is creating the overweight and the unhappy and the frustration that you're living in. You're actually creating this every day. What if you were to do something different so that you would get the results that you say you want? You learned today that it is your choice, that it does take a decision on your part, and that you can have different results in your life. You can actually do it very quickly once you hire a proven professional and do the steps of a proven system that will work to give you the struggle-free permanent success with your weight. But if you allow your excuses and your fears to stop you, then yeah, you're not going to get the results that you say you want. You know what? There are millions of people on this planet who would love to look different and have a slender body, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get it. They're not only not willing to do that, but they're also not willing to get the mindset that would make it easy for them to do the physical actions to get the body they want. Same thing with money. There are millions of people on this planet who would love to be millionaires, but they're not willing to do what millionaires do to have the life that they have. So if you're not willing to do the work, you don't believe you deserve to have the mindset, you're just not willing to do it, then at least be honest with yourself. Get real with yourself. Be honest. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have a fit, slender, healthy body. You don't have to have a weight loss mindset. You don't have to make things easy for yourself. You can keep doing what you're doing. If you're happy with what you've got, if you're happy with your results, then you already have the proven formula to get what you've got. And your proven formula is to keep doing what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't like the results you've got, you don't like the body you have, you're not happy with your mindset, you would love to feel good, you'd love to feel good in your own skin, you'd love to feel good about yourself, you'd love to get the results that you've always wanted in your life, to actually feel good about your body, feel good about exercise, have fun living healthy and fit, have fun cooking up healthy foods, have fun choosing the healthy options over the unhealthy options. Just honestly enjoy your life and do it in the body that you want to live in. If those are the results you want, and you don't have them now, then you already know one of the things you learned today is that 90% of getting that is your mindset. And that is the work that I do with my clients in the Inner Self Diet. So be sure and head on over to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page. You'll get a shout out from me on an upcoming show. And if you are subscribed in iTunes, it's completely free to be subscribed in iTunes to the JoLynn Braley Show. Go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating. We'd love to read your 5-star review along with your rating. If you would share your biggest aha from the show, tell us about how your awareness has shifted away from that diet mentality, thinking that some kind of a fast fat loss food diet would solve all of your food and weight struggles. Tell us about how you have gained the awareness that 90% of your struggles are mindset, and that it's your mindset that makes it easy to do the healthy actions. We'd love to read all about that. Next week's episode, how to lose your muffin top in 5 minutes. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, also known as the FAT Release Coach, and you have been listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. Be sure to go to fearlessfatloss.com to learn more. Grab your free 5-day e-course while you're there. It will help you answer the question, is your mindset FIT or FAT, and help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.